Tropica has launched a new way to buy aquarium plants. No pots, no rockwool, just a simple plastic clip. The big promise? Cleaner, faster, supposedly better. But is it a real step towards sustainability or just clever marketing? So in this video, I will compare Tropica's potted plants with the new clip version, looking at quality, quantity, ease of use, waste and durability. This is a standardized shipping box from Tropica, and inside I have the equal amount of plants in a clip and plants in a pot. Let's have a look inside. As you can see already, there's quite a significant difference. So while all the plants in a clip are down here, the potted plants are up here. And just by that, you can already see there is a huge difference in volume when it comes to shipping these, different types of plants. Why does this matter? First of all, the more plants can fit in a single box, the cheaper the shipping becomes. It also is nice for the planet because that means more plants in the same container, means less containers shipped, means different boxes per car, per plane. So all in all, this reduces the CO2 footprint, which is super great. I would say now let's strip the plants and look at the amount of packaging around actually each plant. And here are the plants in the clip. And it's amazing. Actually, in this box, they could have fit in easily double the amount of plants in a clip. So what I'm gonna do now is get two containers, these guys over here, and strip the plants. One is gonna be for the plants that come in a clip, and the other one is gonna be for the plants that comes in a pot. And we're also gonna look at the time it takes to clean the plants. First one is Bulbitis hydrolati. So far, first impression, super fast. Two plant species already cleaned. Anubias. What is that? Anubias petite. Cyprus helferi. Ludwigia palustris. Let's stuff in all the plastic packaging. The total weight, all things packaging. Ooh. A total of 115 grams. Okay, fine. Now let's have a look at the potted plants. I'm gonna start with the small Anubias. I have to be a little bit mindful how I put all the things inside, because otherwise there is the risk that the space is not going to be enough. It already requires some skill to remove all the rockwool from the roots, and even with years of practice, some of the rockwool still kind of attaches to the roots, so these plants will definitely need a wash afterwards. It is not only the plastic pot that is removed. I would say the rockwool is the biggest improvement, that the rockwool is gone in terms of volume, weight, but also many of you might not be aware, but to create rockwool is actually made out of minerals, and to create it you need a lot of energy. And all this energy is again CO2. I don't know how many of the rockwool suppliers are using solar or wind energy, but let's face it, majority of our energy is still produced from fossil sources. I'm not even halfway through the pots and I can already tell it was so much easier to do the clips, so much faster. So for professionals like myself and everyone else in the trade who is setting up a lot of aquariums on a regular basis, in a short time you have to set up the aquarium, you don't have a lot of time to clean your plants. Those clips, they come in very handy. Why do I feel stressed 10 minutes in? And the whole table is a mess. Rockwool everywhere. last pot, 20 minutes later. Crazy. I think everyone expected the clips to be faster. To be the difference that big is, well, here I have the pots. I have all the labels that come with the plants. They have a benefit which I might have helped making popular. Back in the days when I used to be, like social media manager for Tropica, and even before when I got sponsored by Tropica, to promote the plants and actually to show the plants, yeah, I'm using Tropica plants in the aquarium, I started using those labels inside the substrate, which is like a little pro tip of itself, because this way you can visualize which plant will go where, and you can also budget your plants so you can spread them evenly across the aquarium and you don't run out of plants mid-planting because, you have one portion, one label. But yeah, all the labels, all the pots and add-on of plastic bags. Volume-wise, no big question. It's definitely more. But how much more in terms of weight? That is something I want to find out. Just look at that pile of rockwool. All the rockwool inside. And see what the total weight of the rockwool is. What is the total? 1.3 kilograms? 1.395. So you can say almost 1.4 kilograms for the rockwool. Okay, let's take the bags first. All the bags inside. Now the labels and the cups. 175. So that is a total of 1.569 kilograms. A whole tray over here with the pots. 1.57 kilograms and just 115 grams for the clips. So in terms of waste, clips is definitely the winner. In terms of efficiency, cleaning, clips is a clear winner. So you can give points for ease of use for the clips, points for less waste, less packaging, also for the clips. That means 2 points for the clips, no points for the pots so far. Now let's have a look at the quantity of plants and the quality, and I have to clean up the table a little bit. So I just ran some measurements to compare the quantity of the plants, and it was pretty surprising. There are some noticeable differences. So maybe best I show you also the portions here, so you get a side-by-side comparison. So here we have the Anubias from the pots, and here the Anubias from the clips. The first thing I noticed is the roots and the root length. So with clips, the roots tend to be shorter, a little bit smaller. Also, the portion size, if each portion is a nice clump in the pot. I might just have been lucky, but from my past experience, Tropica portions are always nice. Some of the portions here in the clip look kind of small and weak, and this we can see in the numbers. So 38 grams in the pot, 21 grams in the clip. That's a difference of 1.8, so times 1.8, almost 2 times the quantity. I wasn't expecting that for sure, but it's not with all the plants the same. So this is the average potted crypt from Tropica, and this is the from the clip. You can already see a noticeable difference here between the clip and the pot, and this shows dramatically in the weight difference. So while I measured 160 grams in the pot, I measured only 66 grams in the clip. That's a difference of 2.4 times 2.4, guys. Definitely a lot more plant material in the pot if you go for the crypts. And the leaves are bigger, if you compare them side by side, kind of here. The leaves are longer and are bigger. Bulbitis, Bulbitis, Hoidolotti. But here you can see the difference in the other direction, and I told you to not to judge too early. Just look at that. The size is much bigger of the Bulbitis in the clip. So we have in the pot 37 grams Bulbitis, and in the clip we have 62 grams. That's a difference times 1.67, you could say 1.7. Let's have a look on another plant, which is Cyperus helferi. It's this grassy plant over here from the clip, and I don't know if that's already visible in the camera. The version from the clip was much bigger. In the pot we have 31 grams and in the clip we have 52 grams. That's a difference again of times 1.7. The Ludwigia palustris, roughly the same. 41 grams in the pot, 45 grams in the clip, but stem plants are growing very fast, and these plants, I have to say, both are overgrown for my taste. And then I also measured the total plant mass, which is 307 grams in the pot and 246 grams in the clip. While it looked kind of extreme between certain plants, in the grand scheme, not a big difference. There are some winners in the pot, there are some winners in the clip. Quantity-wise, I would say it's equal. More or less, it is equal. Individual plants, there might be differences, but throughout the range, it's equal. So both plant and pot, or vice versa, pot and clip, are getting 1 point. Next up is comparing the waste. While I said before we had a clear winner with the clips, a lot less waste, I wanted to go into the numbers. So we have a total waste of 1.569 grams in the pot and just 115 grams in the clip. What does it mean? In the pot, we have 13.6 times more waste. The clip versus the pot is 92.7, so almost 93% reduction in waste material by weight. This is insane. If you are thinking about environment and your footprint, CO2 footprint, etc., the clip is by far more environmentally friendly. The clips are pure plastic. It's much easier to be recycled. Also, you can reuse them. I have over here, and I have a bag somewhere. Let's use the trash bag for this. Imagine this is some snacks inside. That would be a big bag of snacks. Anyhow, that clip you can use, and you can clip your bag with snacks, and you don't have to buy those clips for your kitchen supplies. Also, the color and the weight makes these clips very easy to be recycled, which is not always the case with other things. Speaking about quality of plants, I can confidently say the quality is equal, at least when you get them fresh, and I will explain what I mean by that. So both plants getting 1 point each. For the quality, it is the Tropica standard, and nothing that is below quality is ever shipped. Now we come to like specialty categories which don't apply to everyone. What I did with these plants, they arrived on Wednesday. I think I kept them in a box for 1 day to simulate like a 2-day transit. I got them via express shipment. I unboxed them and put them in the empty 80A60P aquarium over there with a little bit of water at the bottom, put all the plants inside and sealed it with a cling film. This way there is high humidity. I basically simulated greenhouse effect, but all the plants remained in their original packaging. And they remained there from Thursday on until today, where I took them to make this video. So that's 3-4 days, something like that. Some of the plants didn't like that, and they were mostly plants in the clip. And the reason for that, and I can only make assumptions, the plants in the clip, they lack the rockwool. The rockwool provides the plant with moisture, perception of like storage. It's much easier. The potted plants, you put them in a big plastic container from IKEA, put a little bit, like remove the individual sleeves, a little bit of water at the bottom, you know, plastic lid on top, you are good. They have space, they can spread out, easy peasy. So I'm gonna give a bonus point to potted plants for storage and durability. And the reason is the rockwool provides like a buffer. There is moisture, there is nutrients inside, the plant can still feed from it, and also while it comes with a lot more packaging material, it also means every plant is just cushioned and packaged much better than all in a single plastic bag. For all the species I had here, plants in a clip were a clear winner. But there are certain plants where I would prefer to use the potted version. Mainly that is Hemianthus cuba. And the reason for that is Hemianthus cuba, I like planting Hemianthus cuba because it's so tiny with a little portion of rock wool. If you've seen any one of my tutorials, you know I just cut off the majority of the rock wool. I keep like 1 centimeter of the rock wool, then I go with the scissors, cut it from the bottom like, you know, little sushi portions, and then I use that little piece of rock wool like an anchor to secure the Hemianthus cuba in the substrate, because it's so tiny, so short roots, and it creates a lot of bubbles after the first fill or after the planting. It can easily float up, and that little tiny piece makes it faster and secures the plant, prevents plants from floating up. But this is like a single plant. The other use case scenario is where you want to glue Monte Carlo onto hardscape. If you plan doing this, whether it's like a canopy for like a fake underwater tree, or just somewhere on a piece of wood, on a piece of rock, and you want the Monte Carlo to, you know, like cascade down, then it's actually beneficial to use Monte Carlo in a pot and remain a little piece of that rock wool, because then you can super glue the rock wool to your hardscape while the plant is rooted in the rock wool, and you're not damaging the plant with super glue. So this brings us to the end, you know, kind of the 3 points for the potted plants, and we have 4 points for the clips. I think going forward, I will prefer the plants in the clip. I will just keep that in mind when I get the plants in the clip, that I cannot store them for as long as I have to, and I would encourage you to do the same when you're ordering the plants, where you're bringing them home in the clip, in the pot. With the pots, you can keep them for a couple days before making use of them. If the plants in the clip, you have to use them right away. They are super fresh when you get them. You have to use them fresh. Folks, this wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive and side-by-side comparison of potted versus clipped plants. Let me know what you think of both versions, which one you will go with. If you already had some experiences with the plants sold in a clip, looking a lot to read your comments, your feedback on these. See you in the next one. Goodbye.